experiences of Game 5 any more intense than the previous 4? Because especially if it's tied 2-2 like you guys are.
I mean, you think so. I mean, I haven't really looked at it and said Game 5 is something different, but all these games are the same. Like you said, you got to be ready to come out and compete from the start. You got to have an attack mentality on both sides of the basketball, and you just got to go from there. And I thought, last game they came out and attacked us early and kind of had us on our heels to start the game.
Do you tell the team that there's a sense of urgency, or do you just keep them even keeled?
No, I mean, we know it's a sense of urgency. I mean, from game 1, it's not just because it's 2-2. Like, we understand, like, when the playoffs start, you got to have urgency from the beginning. As soon as the jump ball goes up, you got to be ready to go, and you got to be impactful in any ways you can. And so we know we got to start the games better. Like I said, in games 2 and 3, they had 16 points in the first 4.5 minutes, and in game 3, they had 20 points in the first 4.5 minutes. And so we got to start games better, especially with the defensive identity.
I know James's impact is not necessarily always seen up with the shots.
I
know James's impact isn't always just with the shot attempts that he takes, but he looked pretty passive from his shot perspective in the first 3 quarters of that game. What did you notice about what they were doing? Was it more just on him trying to get guys involved?
Yeah, I mean, they decided they're going to take James out of the series or try to take him out of the series. And James is a dynamic player, so he can beat you with the pass, he can beat you with his scoring. And so if they're going to do that, we just got to make the right play. We got to make the right play. We know what we should be doing, so we just got to go from there.
Chris has had games where he's punished them for leaving them open, and there's been times where they've been funneling the ball and the shots haven't been going down. How do you weigh the balance between when he's not making shots, keeping him out there because of what he's able to do defensively, and then also just, kind of deciding when it's time to
just seeing how we're playing defensively. Like, we have confidence he can make the shots, and if he's not, he brings more to the team, like you said, than just making shots. But if we're playing great defensively, they're not scoring either, and he's a big part of that, then you just got to balance it from that way. And that's kind of how I look at it.
Going back to the end of game 4, like, you had that lineup on the floor, and they defended extremely well for 10 minutes. Like, what goes into keeping that group together when you need a stop versus, situationally finding other guys on the floor to get the one stop that you need?
Yeah, I mean, our coach, you talked about it, but those are the guys that brought us back. They were fresh. I mean, they had a lather. They was ready to go. A lot of guys been sitting on the bench for a long period of time. So the matchups wouldn't change. Guys would be on certain guys. And like I said, if the shot hits the rim, it's a different situation. He shot an air ball, a perfect air ball, and he was able to dunk it in at the end. So I just stuck with the guys that got us going in the game, and the other guys have been sitting there for a long time.
You see the game that you were in, you see the Lakers Timberwolves game where JJ plays all his dudes, same lineup for 24 minutes straight. Like, why is it important to get guys in and out over the course of a half and use your depth as opposed to basically going for that full blitz or whatever and hoping the lead is big enough?
I wish I could do that too. But I know y'all going to talk about it. It's all what the game calls for. You can't question. I mean, y'all always got questions about what the coach does when they lose the game. What if they'd have won?
Well, the Lakers didn't win.
What if they'd have won? What we just said?
It would have been the same thing as game 4. Clippers Nuggets pretty much.
No, I'm saying if they'd have won, would you have been talking about he played his guys the whole second half? Would it have been a story?
Probably.
Oh, well, if not, they'd have won.
If they would have won, they would have been like, oh snap. Like, they used 5 guys for 24 minutes. Nobody does
Whatever it takes to win the playoffs. I don't care if you play a guy 100 minutes. Like, if you got to play 100 minutes to win the game, you win the game. And so, you can't question, what a coach does. Or that's what kills me the most. Like, yeah, okay, y'all have y'all opinion, but at the end of the day, if you're trying to win a game, you don't know what goes into that. Like, so when you write your stories, you write stories about, oh yeah, but you could be wrong too in your stories. Don't nobody call y'all out. So,
call us out.
No, they don't.
No,
well, people don't read it really, but I'm just saying. All I'm saying is, like, when it goes into winning the game in the playoffs, you never know what you got to go through to get to that point. And so a coach guy does what he has to do to try to win the game, and that's it. And like making a big deal out of what guys play, you prepare for this moment to get to the playoffs, so you guys can play more minutes and do whatever it takes to win the game.
In a low-paced game like this series has been, like for example, from the 7-minute mark to the 2-minute mark, the Nuggets were able to use up like 45 seconds just rolling the ball up in total. Is that something you look at in such a low possession, low pace kind of game?
Yeah, I mean that's why we was having Bogey get up the floor and try to, give him to pick the basketball up. And like you said, Joker's one of the smartest guys in this game. Just from that type of stuff, from sitting on the bench like he's coming in the game during timeout, so you look at who's in the game, he's not in the game, and all those little things, So that's why he's one of the best.
Are those things you want to prevent
Joker
from
has
happening?
averaged a triple-double in It's a playoff series. What do you do now? What do you do differently? You keep the same
We'll
game
see.
plan? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
What's that?
We'll see tomorrow.
What does that entail? We'll see.
We'll see.
So to be clear, you were referencing that final defensive possession. The reason why you didn't make a sub is because you felt the guys had been sitting too long.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought the guys that got us back in the game were playing great defensively, and then at the end of the game, those guys were sitting for a while. And what would have been the difference? You shot every ball, you dunked it in.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure
Yeah.
that's what you were saying.
Yes, that's what I said.
So that thing where they waste clock, is that something you have emphasized to the guys to pressure up more? I know guys
Well,
might
we
be
did it
tired.
during the game, like we tried to do that. Yeah.
When you said often that you don't want guys to get bored with success or with the process. What, especially coming off of this practice here, like what gives you the confidence that they finally have that message and can get 2 more wins in the series?
They understand what we need to do. You know, I think we've had slippage, especially, paying so much attention to Joker. You know, so when you're paying a lot of attention to him, we kind of lose sight of the other guys, that things we want to take away. So a lot of slippage on how we want to guard certain players and certain things we want to do. And like I said, Brown got, I think, 12 layups or 12 shots in the paint last game. You know, so we understand that he's going to run the floor. We understand he's going to cut, and those are things we got to do a better job of taking away.
Can this game this series get any more chippy than it was with the technical fouls on?
Yeah, you can get more chippy.
You cool with that?
I'm cool with it.
The guys cool with that?
You got to ask them.
Well, the key thing is, what I thought was good, no one got kicked out.
Yeah.
They were ejected from the game.
Right.
Referees, they understand what's at stake too.
Yeah, they did a good job. I mean, it's going in the playoffs. There's going to be some scuffles. There's going to be some, some pushing, some shoving, and the guys are competing. And they want it so bad, And so I don't think anybody should get thrown out for that. Just because you're competing. And if you haven't done anything to hurt another player, you should be fine. You shouldn't be thrown out again.
Boston said their guys been getting hurt.
Who got hurt?
AG got hurt. The rest of my game.
Do you have to kind of remind the guys though?
I can't hear you.
You have to kind of remind the guys though. With how that altercation went, there could have been some ejections. Like remind them that hey, like the game is obviously more important than any kind of little physical altercation.
No.
You have to remind them.
In the playoffs, like I told you, whatever it takes to win the game, man. And guys are competing at a high level. And like I said, when you get to this point in the season, yeah. No, I didn't tell the guys nothing. Just play basketball. Thank you. Y'all have a good day.
How you doing? Great. If you're not ready for the playoffs, it's not a good time for you.
Is there a sense of urgency going into the best of 3 now?
There's been a sense of urgency. Nothing changed for us. Best of 7, best of 5, best of 3, whatever. We got to win 4 games.
I'm interested to see how, as this series has gone along, we've been with Jeff Van Gundy all season. How has he been different at this time of the year compared to, when he was establishing his defense in training camp and when he had to manage the regular season?
I don't know. He went to another level. He's treating every game like it's playoffs. So he just went to a next level of locked in.
So I think I read that the winner of Game 5, when it's tied 2-2, has won the series something like 87% of the time. What does that mean to you guys going into this, knowing that's...
So means that it's an important game. Every one of them is important, but you're going back in a mini series of best of 3. You for sure want to get the next one. So you want to get a Game 5 for sure. It's a very important game. But I've been in a series where we were 2-2, we lost Game 5, and we still came back and won in 7. So just got to win 2.
Is there a sense of maybe just calmness among the team, given that there's a lot of veterans in this team and you kind of know how you want to attack them and how they're going to attack you?
I don't know what to do. I don't know how other guys feel. I feel calm. I feel pretty good about it. When we go out there, I think everyone knows what they're supposed to do in every situation, and there's no I don't know. there's you know what you got to do. It's not complicated. You got to go out there, play super hard, execute, communicate, and you'll be good.
Yeah, at least in film studies, though, what's the general?
Huh?
I said at least in like your film studies or get-togethers, like what's the general vibe of the team after game 4?
We know how to play this team. We know we beat them twice. We know what it's going to take, and just making sure we're locked into our coverages, that we know what we're doing every possessions. You know, they made some adjustments. They did some stuff differently. We went over that, and vibe is pretty good.
So with Jokic averaging a triple-double, how do you guys not get discouraged from trying to slow him down?
Don't get bored with the process. You know, it's what he does. It's what he's been doing for years now, and he averaged triple-double through the regular season. So it's what they do. What he does. That's how they play, and that's it. You shouldn't be discouraged by looking at the other players' stats. You should be discouraged if you're down 20 or something like that. Like, you shouldn't be discouraged. We got a triple-double, and the score is good for us. So we're focused on winning. So we're not looking at the other players' stats and being discouraged by them.
When he starts playing faster, it just feels like he's more intent on getting into the paint, getting buckets, driving hard. Like, how do you react to that? Like, how do you kind of counter his aggression level noticeably increasing over the course of a game?
I feel like he's been aggressive from game 1, from the first possession. I don't think much changed for me. I feel like from the first game to the last game, I feel like, you know, you can play your best defense, and sometimes he's going to make shots, and he's going to make a lot of tough shots. So for me, I don't think much changes. They still go through the same sets. They run the same stuff for him. It's just about making it as hard as possible, as tough as possible for him, and trying to make him miss. He's a great player, one of the all-time greats. So he's going to make some tough shots.
But when he is more aggressive, looking to get his own shot, like he was in that third quarter, for example, I know you guys have talked about timing on some doubles and stuff like that. Does it change things when he's quicker to his actions and getting more in the restricted area trying to score?
I mean, for sure. If it changes, you got to be more reactive to it. You got to, you know, you can't get out of your stance. You can't look around. You got to be locked in. So he's a player that, ever since I remember playing against him from the first time, he always played super hard. He never took possessions off. He always looks for the ways to impact the game, even when he's off the ball, like with his cutting and you know, different stuff. So he's always playing super hard. So I don't think, you know, much changes. You got to be locked in every possession. You got to try to match his physicality, and you got to play as hard as him.
Thanks, Zip.
Yep.
Thanks, Zip.